How are you? Welcome to Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your true potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. How is everyone tonight? Welcome, welcome. We are in the fifth dimension, aren't we? Today is Monday, February 19th, and you know what? I haven't been here forever. And why is that? Because I actually have been doing this live radio show, and I do it on Tuesdays and Fridays. And then I have work every day, and it's just so much. Plus my Wi-Fi I've been having trouble with at my residency. Let me just show you. So the show Two Psychics is with Michael Edley, and you can find it the show on blogtalkradio.com/Two Psychics. And we've had 5 episodes. We have one on Thursday at 7:30, and you can join and you can call in and you can get a reading. And we give psychic readings, we give past life readings, and we have topics. Like this upcoming week, we have the topics are awakening and DNA activation. But anyway, so here I am. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I apologize that I was late. I was trying to set up because this is not my normal setup, as you see. So how is everyone? What's new? What's going on? I'm coming live from New York. Let's have gratitude for this moment, is what I say. Let's have gratitude for this moment. Because why? Why should we have gratitude? Because we're lucky to be here, and every single moment matters, just like your thoughts, words, and actions matter. Are you writing down your sleeping dreams when you wake up? A little description and how you're feeling, because your sleeping dreams will guide you. They're guiding you to your destiny. So together right now, let's create our destiny in this moment. If we are in this moment, this is the most powerful moment. How do we create our destiny in this moment? Hey, Bob Harding. Yay. Thank you so much. You're in San Diego. Thanks for joining us. I'm so happy. I was wondering about you, and I am very, very sorry. It's been a whole month since I did a live. But interestingly enough, I seem to be getting more subscribers because I talk about the YouTube channel during the Two Psychics radio show. All right, so back to creating our destiny right here in this moment. I always say, do you have 10 humongous goals? Let's check those goals off. So in this moment, we're going to create our destiny. How are we going to do that? We know the steps. First, we're going to put all of our weight in our bottom, the base of our spine, our root chakra. And we're going to imagine that it's shooting down. Our energy from our root chakra, the base of our spine, is shooting down to the earth because we're grounding ourselves. We also are imagining our feet firmly planted in the earth's surface, and we're going to wiggle our toes, and we're going to let go of any tension that we have in our body and be like a rag doll. And we're going to let out a breath, and we're going to remind ourselves that we can do it. Because self-confidence is everything. A willingness, we're going to push away doubt. And then right here in this moment, we are going to imagine our destiny. And when I say imagine your destiny, I'm saying whatever it is that you want to get to. Maybe it's this humongous goal, and everyone says, you can't do that. Well, then we don't tell those people. So we're going to imagine it right here. When I say that, for me, I'm seeing the colors, the location, the weather, where is it, what exactly it is that I want, and I'm believing in it. And so in this moment, we're creating our destiny, and because we do it in this moment, we can create the future. We project, next week you have to think about it right here, right now, not next week. Imagine you're getting it right now. We're not thinking about what just happened 5 seconds ago. I could have gotten really twisted over the fact that I couldn't get the Wi-Fi started. I couldn't get all this figured out because I'm in a different location, but I just said, whatever's meant to be. I'm doing the best I can. I can't stress over it. So tonight, what are we talking about? We are talking about subjects like society apocalypse. What exactly is that? Underworld surfaces in the 3D matrix. Maybe even teleportation. The throat chakra. Of course, I'm going to mention angels, psychic phenomenon. All right. So I mentioned dreams. When you wake up tomorrow morning, your first thought of the day matters. That's how you roll into every task, every moment. Anything that is percolating in your life will come forward by your thoughts. Because there's what's called cause and effect, causation. You are changing outcomes by your thoughts. Our thoughts carry a charged impulse. Our thoughts carry thoughts and emotions. That's why when I say to you guys, we are going to do telepathy, and I am going to send a message to someone. Or if you are out in a crowd of people and you tune in, you imagine light around you because you want to protect yourself, and you tune into a stranger. Now, everyone's going to tune in differently. Maybe you're going to tune into their heart. Maybe you're going to see them through your clairvoyance, your third eye, your mind's eye. Maybe you're going to hear them through clairaudience. Maybe you're going to have claircognizance. Maybe you're a precog and you know things. You have a knowing. You always have. Maybe you're empathic. Whatever way it is, everyone's going to have a different way of connecting. But we all have these abilities within us, don't we? And I say, you can master at least one. You have a natural ability to master at least one, possibly three, maybe all of them. Maybe you're a medium, maybe you're a channeler. I don't know. All right. So it's thoughts are very important. Thoughts, what do I always say? Thoughts, our intention to do our best, right? Hope you have a good intention. Okay. So I'm bringing up this society apocalypse tonight because even on mainstream media, we are hearing that there's going to be an internet blackout, or there's going to be fighting in the street. And a lot of time, messages are sent to us through means like newspapers, television, movies, and they are giving us information, and we have to take it seriously. So do I say like worry about this? No, it's just to become aware like what's coming next, because good things are coming for us. So big change is coming, and it's a transition. And a society apocalypse means it's going to be a big push to control. Maybe it's going to be a push to control our land, our food source, people's will, personal power. So there's a fight that has surfaced, and the fight is good versus evil. And that's kind of a recurring theme, isn't it? In every film and in every story, every novel, there's always good versus evil, and you hope that good is going to triumph. And I believe good is triumphing. So is it the end of times? Yes, probably. And who will fill the candidacy in November? Will there be an election? I don't know. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mary Amy. All right, so when I say society apocalypse, is that going to be the end of the internet, like an internet blackout? And maybe it's going to happen before November. And is it going to be a complete shutdown, disruption? Now, this is all speculation, obviously. I'm just throwing this out there because it's something that's kind of spoken about on a daily basis. Now, I mentioned to you in the past about the solar flash and the solar storm, the Carrington event in 1859. Is there going to be some kind of blackout because there's a solar storm? Or is it going to be intentional? And that would be services due to cyber attacks or censorship, security, or errors. And a blackout can happen because there is those out there that are not interested in certain outcomes in the future. And because of that, they might take a really strong position and they might force change. So will there be a flip off of satellites and the 5G? Now, an outage can last weeks, months, depending on the damage to the power grid technology. And let's just prepare ourselves. Am I filling grocery shopping carts with food and water? No, I'm not even doing that. And I just can't in my life. And so I'm going to have to wing it and see how it goes. And I'm going to be positive, and I know I will triumph myself. So depending on the damage to technology, is there going to be a shutoff? So the disappearance of the internet, what will that mean to you? How will you feel if you no longer have the internet and you can't use your phone, or you can't reach out to people through social media? How will that affect you? Will you just be sitting there like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now with my time? Or are you going to start to take action and begin to plan right now something that you would do? Maybe you're going to change fields. Maybe you're going to start doing something different than you're doing now as a career. And we have to know when things come to an extreme like that. And I'm not saying something that it's negative or someone's going to be injured. I'm talking about just changes in the world that we live in. We have to start to roll with it. And I always say, go with the flow. We can't fight outcomes sometimes. Yes, we can make plans, and then sometimes it doesn't work the way we want it. So we have to go with the flow. And in this case of the internet going down or being shut down, the power grids, I would say you'd have to go with the flow. So will our world change the reality? Will we enter a new dimension because of some kind of apocalyptic society change, a transfer of energy? Now, will we necessarily begin to communicate differently? Maybe we will all become telepathic and everyone will start talking that way to each other through our minds rather than our mouths. Because if we take away technology and this old way of being, it might shift us, and maybe we will have some kind of light on the earth that changes us, an event. Will we begin to advance our technology back to the days of Nikola Tesla? And I've heard through the secret space program that they have been using some of these inventions, and I've mentioned this in the past. Now, are we no longer going to have access to the internet, and will we have a bank crash because of the Basel III, which is no new bank regulations, an intentional standard for banks' capital? And will there be bank insolvency and some kind of bond default? Now, these are all possibilities leading up to some kind of internet default, some kind of internet outage. And then will we enter into this 3 days of darkness or days of darkness in the emergency broadcast system, maybe the Nasara Jasara, and the gold standard, precious metals, instead of the currency that we've been using, the dollar, which seems to not be worth very much lately? Are we going to have debt forgiveness and the IRS will be dissolved? Yay, cross my fingers. That's what I'm looking forward to. Are you? Write in the chat and tell me what you're thinking about. Are we going to go back to the constitutional law? And are we going to have rainbow currency? I don't know. What do you think? Is this a possibility? Are we going to have this society apocalypse, and we're not going to be controlled any longer, and all of the systems will flatten out? Our history is going to change, our government, our medical, our education, and there will be no more government, no more education, and maybe you'll change your career. The legal system will end as we know it. And so businesses will no longer be filling commercial real estate, and the real estate will be empty. And so like I say, we're going to be driving down a highway and there'll be all kinds of foliage coming up from the ground, and we will see all these empty buildings, and there'll be trees and vines growing over it. Wouldn't that be wonderful if we didn't have to go to a 9-to-5 job? The last couple of days, the sun's been out in New York, and even though it's 31 degrees, I still want to go stick my face outside because I'm going from one job and then I walk Elsa and then I go to another job. And by the time I'm finished with the second job, it's dark out. So it's very sad for me. Let me mention light on the horizon. And I've been going to the sunrises. Probably I've been going to about 3 or 4 sunrises during a week. And I say light on the horizon. And I would have these dreams that I would go to a window, a sleeping dream, and there would be a rectangle and it would be a window, and I'd get up and I'd walk over to the window, and this brilliant glowing sunrise with yellows and oranges and reds. And so light on the horizon means good things are coming beyond your view. A difficult situation will improve, and it's good luck. And you have to know that good things are coming for you. You have to believe that. You're highly advanced, beautiful being of light. Doesn't matter where you live, what you look like, what you do, or what you have. You are beautiful as is right here in this moment. And remind yourself of what your destiny is. Where are you going? Right here in this moment, do you see it? You're here, you're grounded. Do you see your destiny? What does it look like for you? Is it a location? Is it a possession? Is it some kind of adventure that you're going to go on? Remind yourself of this, because this is how you're going to create your future. No, after society crashes, will inner earth be released? And that's how we're going to get on to society, from society apocalypse to underworld surfaces. Now, I really kind of got rid of a lot of pictures because I was carrying them around. Oh, angels. Let me remind you of angels. Angels are beings of light. They come from the heavens to earth. They're here to protect humanity. Now, maybe you see angels in a dream, a vision. Maybe you feel a brush across your face. Maybe out of the corner of your eye, you see some kind of speckled light. Maybe you'll find a feather or a coin, or you see angel numbers, which is repetitive numbers like 222, 1111. You might notice people's license plates, and when you're driving, you see your birthday. And that's an indication, that's validation, that's synchronicity. You're on the right path. And synchronicity is when events that have nothing to do with each other collide. They cross over. It would be like you say, oh, my destiny. My destiny is that I am going to write this book, and it is going to be a bestseller. And tomorrow morning you go and you get a cup of coffee and someone starts talking about a novel they just wrote, and it's similar to the story of where you want to go. Maybe they're very successful. That would be synchronicity. Two events that have nothing to do with each other. A complete stranger will validate you. All right, so underworld surfaces. In the past, I've spoken about some of these 8 to 10 foot beings. Are they the tall whites? Are they some kind of malevolent extraterrestrial? We had the Miami event. We had something going on in Brazil. We had something going on in Las Vegas, someone's backyard. I don't know if you remember hearing these stories. Is this some kind of way for the elite cabal to bring forward their Project Bluebeam, which is to terrify us with extraterrestrials? Or are these really alien encounters? There's Elsa. I don't know who she's barking at, so I apologize for that. Elsa! And when society undergoes this metamorphosis, are there going to be these beings that come from the earth? Because they're not being fed anymore. Have they been being fed humans? Are there hybrid supernatural beings? So some underworld beings have been surfacing. Maybe we're going to see, not only we're going to see angels, but maybe we're going to see demons as well. So underworld beings will probably come forward before the climax of the end of this society that we've been living in. And that would be supernatural beings below the surface. They're coming forward beneath the earth. And we at times have called it Hades. We've called it below the heavens. So it's the abode of the dead, unseen world, place of the punishment for the wicked, eternal fire, hell. Are those beings going to be prominent in our outer world, in our matrix, before we move forward and we all get to the fifth dimension. Now, a lot of us have become awakened. Some have become awakened through some kind of mystical experience. Maybe they became awakened through someone they know that was studying divine energies, or they had some kind of divine intervention themselves. Maybe they had a Kundalini awakening. Maybe just a lot of the lies that they've been hearing about in the news awakened them. And they started going down the rabbit holes like I have. And you know that I go down these rabbit holes. And I'm bringing information forward that I believe is something we are about to undergo. And then I make it as though it's just easy to speak about instead of a hush hush. There is censorship out there, and there's certain topics that we're not allowed to speak about. And I do have shadow banned accounts because I speak about topics I'm not supposed to. But are there going to be some kind of otherworldly beings that are malevolent and they're not here, they're negative? And are they going to be around us and we're going to have to choose? Are you going to choose good or evil? Now, I've been seeing on some of these award shows, I don't know if you have, in some of these music videos, and the celebrities are walking around, and they basically are influencers that are pushing evil with that, whether they're wearing certain costumes or the way they dress, and just the performance that they give seems satanic. And I don't watch any of it. Their costumes, these pop stars, and some of these gala events even. So I'm saying right now, let's vow love, light, and I say Jesus Christ, and positivity. So is there some kind of realization that extraterrestrials do exist? Now, are they in the underground tunnels? And I don't know if you heard some podcasters claim that they are fed humans. Now, are there some kind of programs through the government that they're taking human DNA and they're splicing it or slicing it with different extraterrestrials or different animals in these dumb tunnels, humans and mammals? And they are creating some kind of hybrids. Is that's what's living down in the DUMS tunnels, the underground tunnels? We have to really acknowledge that this is a real thing. This is not made up. This is what's going on. And we're just like, I'm going and I'm worrying about what shoes I wear and if I have the right coffee, and I'm going to a fun restaurant and maybe a movie. But let's also, that's one part of our life. But let's know that there's a shadow world going on. We can have light and shadow. And the more shadow that you take in, the more light you can take in, because you have to expand your awareness and understanding to have a higher consciousness and a higher vibration. But we are sending out to everyone on the planet Earth love and light. And what I mean by that is service to others, not service to self. Service to self, me. Guess what? Guess what? That's not going to take you anywhere. You're going to be stuck in the matrix. You want to shoot high. You want to say service to others. What can I do for others? How can I be more compassionate? How can I have more patience? How can I forgive others? That's where you need to focus yourself. Not negativity. If you're feeling like you have something that you have to get through or you're denying, you need to embrace it. You need to love yourself, all aspects of yourself, and give yourself a break. Have patience. Be in this moment. Try not to overwhelm yourself. Okay, are we going to have some kind of technological advancements? After all, if we undergo all of this stuff, the emergency broadcast system, maybe there'll be tribunals and days of darkness, and we'll hear all about what's really been going on. And we overcome all that. And we see these good versus evil, the angels, we see the fallen angels, the demons. And when all of that is done, we're going to have advanced technologies. We are going to realize that there's something called teleportation. and where all of our human powers are going to come forward. So we are going to begin to harness our superpowers. This is what I talk about with Michael Edley during our Two Psychics radio show, which is on Thursdays or Fridays. I'm plugging that right now because I hope you join us and follow me, because I feel like what's going to happen for me next is I'm going to do this radio show, and then it's going to turn into some kind of video work. So you're going to see me with my co-host, Michael Edley, and we're going to be doing videos as well. So are you going to harness your superpowers? You have superpowers, whether you realize it or not. Like maybe you can learn to train your brain. You can read other people's mind. You can receive telepathic information. I was speaking about Diego Berman, DiegoBerman.com. And he has on his website activations, and you can activate all of your DNA within you. You can activate the galactic beings off planet, and you start to listen to these. They're about 2.5 minutes long, and there's light language. I don't know if you've ever heard of light language. You can train your brain, and maybe you're going to have night vision. Maybe you're going to have some kind of very extreme memory abilities. Maybe you are going to become fluent in another language or many languages. You might begin to have certain skills related to music or writing or art, or maybe you're going to learn some kind of crazy superhuman power, like you can change the energy of wind and you can shift wind and air. All right, so what is teleportation? Teleportation is the transfer of matter from one point to another without transferring the physical space between them. So you are moving from, like, it would be like teleportation would be, here I am, or I'm coming to you in another location. And there's what's called quantum teleportation. The process transfers the quantum state of one particle into another identical particles at the same time, erases the state in the original. So we're traveling from one place to another. Does anyone have anything to say to me? No one's writing in the chat. Can someone write in the chat and say hi, hi, hi? I'd love for somebody to say hi, hi, hi. Now I know that I really did not really market this tonight, so we only have a few viewers right now, but it seems like people are watching at other times. And for anyone who's watching on a replay, I'm sending you light, even if you're not here for this live, and I want good things for you. I know that since I've been doing this radio show, which is my destiny, and I created this destiny, I know that my abilities as a person have improved. My mind has improved. In other words, more positivity. I feel more grounded. I feel more settled. And I'm telling you this because during the show, we are talking about psychic abilities. We're talking about remote viewing. We're talking about all kinds of things that I talk about here from time to time. So I'd like you to watch that show because I think that it might help you to be stronger in your abilities. Okay, so before we get onto psychic phenomenon, I want to mention our throat chakra. So our throat chakra is very important because it's about your expression. It's about you telling your truth. And sometimes you might, hey, Bob Harding. Thanks for saying something, Bob Harding. You know I needed that, Bob. You know I needed that. I appreciate that. So your throat chakra is right here. You know, I'll show you a picture of your chakras. I know I brought one. Hold on, let me find it. Okay, so here's all of our chakras, and here's our throat chakra, right? So your throat chakra is the power of your throat chakra, which represents communication, self-expression, creativity. And you want to find your voice. If you are sensing that sometimes you can't speak your truth. Don't speak your truth. Maybe journal it, write it down. Find someone that you can confide in, that you have support from. We all need, especially now with how things are transitioning into another world, the golden age, the age of Aquarius. It's all going to be about peace and love. It's going to be a lot of big change. It's going to, like this change, like this. It's going to be in a second. And then you're not, and the old world is not going to exist anymore. Right now is a time that we are starting to create our future, our destiny. And I'm telling you that if you are someone who is in a relationship, or you're someplace in your life that you have to compartmentalize your feelings and your expression, your thinking, whatever you have to say, whatever your belief system is, you have to find someone that is supportive of you, because it's really hard to do it on your own. Maybe a friend, maybe a relative, maybe a loved one, someone that you feel safe with. And you can manifest that if you're clear. Like I said, if you can't express it out loud with anyone, start to write it down, and you will begin to find that you will manifest someone. So you want to find your voice and speak the truth. Our throat chakra has been maybe blocked or imbalanced because we had to keep everything to ourselves. So we want to have the ability to express ourselves for our hearts, our minds, our intuition, and our emotions. So let's heal ourselves by affirmations. So maybe you start to say, I am courageous, I am strong, whatever it is. And also come up with 3 characteristics that you love about yourself so that you can maybe use that. Maybe you say, I am a great friend. Whatever it is, because you want to start building your power. Now, your power is going to come from within. Your power is going to come from, I want to say it comes from your gut, comes from your base. And it is something that you must find yourself. You can't find your power through anything out here. You can't find your self-confidence from anything out here. You have to find your self-confidence from your heart and from your spirit and yourself. And our throat chakra is super important in finding your self-confidence. So you want to maybe activate it. Now, I brought some gemstones here. And you can see these gemstones right now, right? Now, maybe you want to place a gemstone on your throat. And you want to have an affirmation. Now, I have a couple of different kinds here. Maybe you take one of these gemstones or a few of them and you lay down and you say, I am, and you, I am feeling, maybe you're talking about how you're feeling, an emotion. Maybe you're talking about something that you're upset about. Whatever it is, you want to express yourself. You don't want to hold in your emotions. If you're feeling something in your heart, now maybe right now what we should do is we should tune into our heart, because I believe that that's essential when you start to becoming more and more psychic, bringing out your psychic superpowers. Okay, so let's do this right now. Let's let go of any tension that we have. Like I said, we're going to put all of our weight in our bottom. We're going to shoot down all of our energy into the ground from the base of our spine, our root chakra. We're going to imagine our feet are firmly planted in the earth, and we're grounding ourselves. We're reminding ourselves where we are. For me, I'm right here. I have a glass of water. I'm here on this live, so I'm in this moment. You want to be in this moment, and I want to have gratitude. I have gratitude for this moment. Now I'm going to let go of any tension that I have in my arms. Any tension that I have in my arms. I'm going to be like a rag doll. I'm going to let out a breath. And so now I'd like you to tune into your heart. Now sometimes when we tune into our heart, we have layers and layers of junk on it, because we're not used to connecting to ourselves. We're not used to asking ourselves a question. But I'd like you to ask yourself, How are you feeling? How am I feeling right now? And whatever it is, accept it. Maybe you say, I feel really bad, or I'm tired, or I'm content. Whatever it is, accept it. Because when you start to accept everything within you, you unblock yourself. And then everything opens up and you start to realize that you have a lot of choices before you. And different people start to come to you and you raise your frequency, your vibration, and you start to be more and more clear. Maybe you start to have a premonition. Maybe you have a vision. Maybe someone or something connects to you because they're like, oh, and you might even have been around them every day of your life and passing by them. But now all of a sudden, the two of you collide because you've embraced yourself. No one can love you unless you love yourself. Now, we don't want to go into a relationship and act out our issues or go through stuff that we haven't dealt with. It's so much more fun to be in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or something romantic, or maybe it's a work relationship, if you've let go of your stuff that is your stuff, your issues, if you've gotten through them. So I'm suggesting let's be clear, and that starts with tuning into your heart, expressing yourself. Now we're going to push away doubt and negativity, and we're going to activate our throat chakra, okay? And you are a multi-dimensional being of light. So you're going to connect to your throat chakra telepathically. So maybe you're going to close your eyes and you're going to telepathically connect to your throat. In other words, you're going to give permission for your truth to come forward. You're going to allow yourself. You're going to say, you have to say it out loud. You can say it through your thoughts. I'm letting you express yourself. I'm letting everything come forward that's bothering you. You're giving yourself permission. And this is going to create some verbal and nonverbal communication within you and a higher vibration. You are going to connect to an etheric, real, higher realm of existence. The creation of your destiny, you're going to start self-discovery. Now, if you haven't already activated and you're on your way through your ascension process, which might be that you hear certain ringing in your ear, you might begin to having lucid dreams, you might start to want to change your life completely and do something different, travel to far off places, or just change your lifestyle. Maybe your food habits, maybe your sleep habits, maybe your friendships, whatever it is. You're beginning to activate yourself. These are baby steps. Everything I'm saying to you, when you cumulatively put all of this together, more than just one day, you will start to see big changes in the future. Now, right now, when we're going through processes like this, it seems like it's not doing anything. Nothing's changing. I'm not telepathic. Well, you have to have belief in your system. You have to take away doubt. You can't have any doubt. You have to say, you know what? I don't care if it happens today or tomorrow. You have to let go of that control. You can't have control when it comes to telepathic information or your psychic superpowers. You have to let go of all control. And you're just going to, all of a sudden, it's like a portal, a doorway opens up, and you and it are going to come together. And it's going to begin to flow within you. And maybe you're going to just change so much about you, and it's about acceptance then. We're not about controlling the external world. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so, I'm getting through this pretty fast, and maybe I just didn't have a lot to say today, but we kind of need to go into psychic phenomena. So maybe we're going to start by saying, what are your superpower abilities? Now, in the future, we're also going to do a bowl of light tonight. In the future, I want to say that I believe wholeheartedly that there's going to be something like teleportation. And there's going to be something like this. You are going to have some kind of superpowers. Maybe it's not going to be that far in the future. Maybe it's going to be months away. It's entirely up to you. When do you want it? So what I believe, I'm going to tell you what I believe is going to happen. I'm going to give you like a little premonition of what I believe is going to happen. I believe that we are going to become acquainted with extraterrestrials. And maybe it's going to be from the Galactic Federation of Light, like these Palladians. They show themselves this way. And they do look like this. They look like they're Nordic, or they look like they're from one of the, I guess, Iceland, and they're fair-haired and fair-skinned. And I believe that we are going to begin to heal. And maybe we're going to start to have holographic communications and some kind of time travel devices and interdimensional frequency dialogue. We are going to start to have the ability to receive quantum technology and advanced technology, and we're going to receive daily messages. There's going to be new free energy, new vehicles. I believe that we're going to have a different kind of food that we're going to eat. It's not going to necessarily be these packaged foods, because everything is going to shift into much more organic, or something that does not have processed foods or artificial flavoring and colors. And the med beds are going to show up, and we're going to have medical technology, and there's going to be off-planet travel. These are all the things that I believe are going to happen in the future. And maybe it's going to be because we're going to have some kind of event or some kind of light that's going to come on the earth, like the solar flash. Or maybe it's going to be that we just decide at some point that we're sick of the way we've been living, these 9-to-5 jobs and all of this pressure in society to be something and to do something that really isn't important to humanity. So more or less, we're going to have a mission rather than a job. Are you starting to realize that you're going to have a mission, not a job? And there's going to be some kind of understanding. There's going to be an overhaul of water on earth, and farms, forests, woods, fields, and everything's going to be healed. I believe that we are going to find new ways to communicate, new ways to travel, and new ways to live. That's what I believe is going to happen. And there's going to be some kind of liaison, and there's going to be conduits between humans and extraterrestrials, because they have the advanced technology. And I do know that some of our government in the secret space program do already have that technology, right? Don't they? I believe that. But so we're going to talk about psychic phenomenon. We're going to talk about our superpowers. Before we do that, I'd like to do a ball of light. So everyone, I'd like you to rub your hands together. Maybe take everything off you like this. Do you ever take sage and burn it around you? That's a good idea. If you sense that you've been around someone that makes you feel bad, or someone toxic, go to one of these stores, maybe a grocery store like Whole Foods, and get one of these little bundles of sage, and you just light the top tip of it, and you just go around yourself, go around your home and all of the different archways and doorways, and always have some kind of window or door open to the outside so that everything negative leaves. Okay, so a ball of light. Let's get back to that. So I say wipe everything off you that's bothering you, right? That's what I always do. When I became a Reiki master, that was something that we always did. And after I do a reading, that's what I do. If you want to join us on Two Psychics, we give readings. Somebody from this might call in. Who knows? All right, so we're gonna take our hands together and rub them. So a ball of light is divine guidance. It's the right path. It's a symbol of creativity. It's transcendence. You're embarking on your next adventure. It's a new level of consciousness. You're connecting to higher power. You're creating light. A ball of light heals emotionally and spiritually. Okay, so you take it away from you. We've done this before. We rub our hands together. You take your hands apart, and hopefully you feel some kind of friction on your palms. Now you can create the ball of light by cupping your hands, and then you're bringing this ball of light that you've created. Hopefully it feels like something on your hands. Now, if you've taken any kind of medication, you might not feel it. And you taking the ball of light and you're putting it around your human energy field, which is surrounding you. It's within 12 inches from your body outward. Okay, so you're taking the ball of light. And in the past, sometimes what I did was I would say, okay, you have your ball of light. Are you clairvoyant? Can you see in your third eye anything if you're standing in your ball of light? So I just saw that my ball of light is a purplish blue, which is very positive. Negative forces and energies, apparent dark powers do not like purple lights, just so you know. So maybe take the ball of light and put it all around you, okay? And that's what I see. I really see that. I see it's purple and blue, which is very positive. So you're creating energy. You're creating positivity around you. That's what you're doing right now with this ball of light. And maybe you're going to imagine yourself standing in the ball of light. Maybe you're going to use it as a time travel device or teleportation device, and you're going to hold it and imagine or say, give a suggestion. You can close your eyes, that you go to another place. Maybe you're going to use it to remote view and see something in another location. It's entirely up to you. Right now, I'm sensing that we should do something with this ball of light. Is it working for you? Do you still feel some kind of friction on your palms? Let's see. My suggestion right now is, let's use this to go time travel. Let's use this ball of light to go someplace in your past. I'm going to say that we are going to, I'm giving this suggestion because we're pretty relaxed at this point, aren't we? I'm going to give this suggestion that we are going to our first birthday. Our first birthday. We're using this as a time travel device. So I'm going to keep my eyes open. What do I see? I don't know. It sounds familiar. Did I do this already? Did I say our first birthday another time? I think I did. But it came back to me again. Okay, I'm going to be quiet and let's see if you receive anything. I definitely received a memory. I don't know if anyone else did. I kind of made myself a little conflicted. Oh, I realized I didn't talk about one thing, so I'm going to talk about that in a little bit after maybe the psychic phenomenon. Let's see. All right, well, that's it. Did you receive anything? I don't know. Write it down. Let me know. I'm putting my hands together. Okay, so let's get back to superpowers. So do you have any superpowers? Do you want to have some superpowers? Ability absorption, accelerated healing, animal control, fire starter. I don't know if that's a good one. Flight, healing touch, power absorption, persuasion, mind reading, lie detection, levitation, laser eyes, invisibility. And that's cloaking. We've spoken about cloaking before. Shapeshifter, super speed, super strength, telekinesis, teleportation, telescopic vision, wall crawling, weather manipulation. So it's so funny because we've been talking about in the last few episodes, we talked about past lives. And I have these memories from and it must be past life. I have this memory that I was able to climb up on the wall. I also have a memory that I lifted up a car, like a car, I had super strength. These memories are so strong and vivid that it's almost like I had them. I mean, that it happened to me, in other words. It's really strange. And it's not a dream. It's literally a memory. Anyone else have memories like that? All right, so let's practice right now. Let's do some psychic phenomena. Let's work on our superpower abilities. Now, here's some basics, and I've used this chart before. Our clairvoyance, right? So our clairvoyance is clear vision. Now, do you have clairvoyance? We just talked about utilizing the ball of light, and when I did that as a time travel device to my first birthday, it was in my third eye is how I saw things. Now, I've been practicing my clairaudience. We're going to do an exercise tonight. We're going to go through the steps, and we're going to bring forward some kind of information, an impression. So an impression would be that you received some kind of physical sensation, and it's going to come through as a sound, a tone, a mental picture. Maybe it's going to be something that you feel. It might be a knowing about a location, some kind of information or data. And you could use your clear hearing, your clairaudience, your clear hearing, your clear seeing, your clairvoyance, your clairsentience, which is your clear feeling. Now, maybe you have claircognizance, a knowing something without hearing about it. It's the sense of knowing someone, to know that something will be real, and although they have no way of backing this knowledge, basically everything that I'm referring to is a knowing about something. It's just coming through your senses in different ways. It's coming through how you see. So when you activate your third eye, when you're seeing some kind of scenario. Maybe it looks like a movie in your mind, and you are traveling through a portal. Every one of these clairsenses is giving you an opening to another realm or dimension. And it might be past, present, or future. Maybe it's the angelic realm. Maybe it's the spirit realm. So I was doing a past life meditation and had such a hard time. My spirit kept interrupting and saying, this is the important focus on. Bob, you should call into the radio show and get a past life reading from Michael, because we have no one doing that. You should call in this week and get a past life reading, because we can't get anyone who wants to do it. And it can't be me, because that's boring if he's doing it with me. All right, so let's do some psychic phenomenon right now. And you're going to practice. So, okay, let's go through the steps right now. So I'd like everyone to let out a breath. We already have all of our weight in our bottom. We're in this moment. We have gratitude. We're pushing away any doubt. We're having focus and concentration. We're like a rag doll. We're letting go of any tension that we have. We're almost to the 1 hour mark, so it's perfect. We're letting go of any tension that we have. Letting all of our energy and stress run through our hands, out our fingertips. And I'd like all of us to inhale, and we'll say inhale for 5, hold it for 5, and exhale for 5. Okay, and we're going to do that 3 times together, and then I'm going to give a suggestion. You're going to tune into your hearing, your seeing, your feeling. And this is for advanced and beginners. And when I say hearing, I mean you're hearing, you're just tuning into your sense of hearing. You're just tuning into your sense of seeing, your clairvoyance. You're just tuning into your sense of feeling. Okay, so let's do the breath. Let's focus on our breathing right now. We're going to do 3 times, okay? right, so hopefully you're a little bit more relaxed and you've let go of any tension. And I'd like you to tune into one or more of your senses. Maybe it's your sense of touch, maybe it's your sense of hearing, your sense of seeing, your sense of feeling, your sense of knowing. And I'm going to give a suggestion. Let's see if you receive any information. Now, it's not our thoughts. We're pushing away thoughts. We're saying, I have self-confidence to do this. I believe I can do this. I have a willingness. I'm open. And we're just going to allow whatever comes forward. Maybe you're going to hear something. Maybe you're going to see something. Maybe you're going to feel something. Okay, so the suggestion I'm giving tonight is, I'm giving this suggestion. You're in a location of your choosing and everything around you is purple. So you're in a location that you choose and everything is purple. Now, it could be you're in your home. You could be in your car. It could be you're in the forest. It's whatever you want, but everything is purple and you're in that location. I'm going to be quiet and let's see what happens. All right, so this was so interesting for me. So interesting for me. First, I heard all of these animals, sounds of animals. Like I heard elephant, lion. I don't know what sound a zebra makes, but I heard all these jungle animals. Then I felt and heard someone saying, wake up, wake up, wake up, Mary. You're having a dream. And then I heard some kind of other being language, like it was an extraterrestrial, and it sounded like all these different sounds that they were making, but I didn't understand. Now I realize I should have tried to change my frequency so I could understand what they were saying. All right, well, that was interesting. Did anyone else have some kind of strange experience? I don't know why I came up with that. Maybe because I mentioned the color purple earlier and I wanted to see what would happen. I actually was in my home. Maybe I should have given that suggestion. So maybe try it again and say everything in your home is purple and see what you receive. But it's entirely up to you. I just give suggestions. Okay, so I'm really happy I was here. I do want to mention something that I probably should have talked about in the very beginning. And I'm going to mention it now before we go. And I'm going to mention it because, and this just went by too quickly and I love doing this. I'm going to mention this because I just don't know when I'm going to do another live. And that is because I work until 6:45 at night. And then by Friday, I'm really tired. And then I'm doing this radio show. And then on the weekend, I just want to rest. So I apologize. I'm going to pull it together. And I'm now going to say I'm going to do one of these a week. I'm now committing to that. But I still want to mention, well, before I mention that, I want to say about your superpowers. I'd like you to try to manifest one of these. Maybe do some research on some really far out superpower. And I think I'm going to start to do it myself. I found some information about moving air and wind. And it's all of these movements that you do, and there's a whole process in figuring it out about meditation. But try one of these. Here's the chart. Try to do one of these superpowers. Try to focus on one of those. Okay. And that's the fun stuff. The not so fun stuff is I want to mention before I go, I would like to mention the fact that these three entities that have existed in our world, which are Washington, D.C., the Vatican, and then the City of London, are not really part of or connected to something that they're held accountable for. For example, I didn't know this. Washington, D.C. is not part of any state. It's called a territory. In 1990, the U.S. Congress established 10 miles square, 100 square miles territory as the federal government and later called it the District of Columbia. In 1974, it was governed by a mayor and city council, and it's still a territory. And so they have their own rules and regs. It's not part of the United States. It's called a territory. Now, the Vatican is on its own as well. Vatican City is an independent country with Rome, Italy. It's independent from Italy in 1929. And it's sovereign authority under the Lateran Pax. Now, London is the city, a square mile, City of London, corporation, heads, Lord Mayor of City of London, financial center, Bank of England, and London Stock Exchange. So these three are all on their own. They are not held accountable like we are or other locations in the world. So I'm going to leave you with saying that the elite cabal intends to destroy our society and will to live. It's up to each and every one of us to build our personal power reserve. So every single day when you wake up in the morning, I'd like you to have a good intention. I'd like you to have a thought like, I am going to do my best, or I am going to be more powerful than I was yesterday. Some kind of thought that's going to take you to a place that you have more confidence and belief in your system. Maybe you do a little meditation. Maybe you listen to some kind of light language activation. Maybe you listen to some different hertz than you've been listening to. One of those singing bowl, chimes, gong videos, something that will bring you to a place of more positivity in your soul, your spirit, your heart. It's all going to start with us. It's not going to start with stuff out here. Out here is going to only change, when we shift. Out here is not shifting on its own. We have to shift it through our thoughts, through our words, through our actions. We have personal power within us. We have a strength that's within us that we can establish a new world. Okay, so we are going to have appreciation and love for ourselves, self-love, and this is for the sake of our children and to defeat the deep state and whatever has controlled our planet Earth. So we're going to believe in ourselves, our heart space, we're going to remind ourselves that we have a DNA blueprint that's being activated and the best version of you is coming forward. It doesn't matter where you live, what you look like, or what you do. You're a beautiful being of light as is. You're going to have a higher frequency, a higher vibration, and you're going to release all your psychic powers. So again, focus on one of your psychic powers. Let me remind you before I go of your chakras. You're going to open up your throat chakra. You're going to allow your self-expression. You're going to have self-confidence. Doesn't matter what someone else says or thinks. You have all the answers within you. You have a human lie detector test. Maybe you're going to practice your telepathic abilities, or you're going to tune in and you're going to speak to the spirit world. Whatever it is that is naturally coming to you. All right, so everyone, I'm so happy I was here. I hope you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. Tonight we spoke about the society apocalypse, which is the shutting down and disruption of things as we know it. Are we in fear? No, because fear is a low vibration. It's low on the scale. We want to be up here. We want to have high vibration and frequency. And the only way to have that is through love, through forgiveness, through kindness, through compassion. Fear down here, fear, shame, anger, all of that is low vibration. It's what, 20? And love is 1,000. And that's how you're going to begin to evolve and transform and transmute into this beautiful being of light that you are. You're highly advanced. I'm Mary Amy. I hope you join me on Two Psychics. It's blogtalkradio.com, and I want good things for you. Before I go, I'm just going to say to you that you can achieve anything you want, and if you're challenged, accept the challenge and overcome whatever it is. And maybe you're going to grow and learn something in that moment. If things aren't going your way, look at what is there before you that maybe you need to learn something. So don't ever give up. You can get there. Okay? So don't forget your 10 humongous goals, your 3 characteristics that you love about yourself, and we will get there. So I'm going to spin light, and you're in the center of it, and you're making a wish. What is that wish? What do you want? You're making a wish. And I see a ball of light. Create a ball of light. Tune into your heart. Okay, expand your awareness. And now I'm spinning counterclockwise, and you're making a wish, and you're in the center of it. And I see a band that is a foot long, and it's surrounding you, and it's taking away any negativity, any darkness that you have. And you are creating a new existence, a new world, and a place of personal happiness. So let's get on our own journey, and let's find our mission and our power. I love you all. Be well. Bye.